Biden giving up without a fight. In this video, I'll talk about the latest in immigration news, and I'll talk about asylum and why it is important to not file a frivolous asylum application. Bijoux Ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back. Thank you for subscribing, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. If you enjoy the content, go ahead, share, like, and don't forget to comment below. Let's get right into it. What is it going on in immigration? My friend, we have a lot going on in immigration. Since his last speech, the President of the United States, Biden, a group of advocates have been slamming Biden, really telling him that he has given up on them, he has given up on us, he has given up on immigration overall without putting up a fight. Remember, he was supposed to be out there actually when he's promoting his 4 trillion infrastructure plan. He was supposed to be talking about immigration as well, but in his speech he said that he has fulfilled his promise. Now he's washing his hand, like wash his hands, and it's off his hand now. Congress just need to pass the bill. But remember, Congress is just not going to go ahead and pass the bill if there's no pressure. Really, he needs to apply pressure, and because he's the symbol of the Democrat Party at this moment, he's supposed to actually go there on a campaign trail and start talking about immigration, really putting pressure, and so he will inspire Congress to action. But he hasn't done so. This is the article coming from NPR. And you know, when NPR start talking, you know it's serious. So there's several articles as well on political. If you go there, you'll see how advocates are really slamming Biden, really. And I guess they're right. Biden has to go ahead and start talking about immigration. He has to put it, as he said, that he's going to put it on the forefront of his agenda. But now that he's promoting his 4 trillion plan, infrastructure plan, we haven't heard much about him talking about immigration. Really, he's just talking about, like, oh, the Congress must act, but that's not how Congress act. Really, we need some type of pressure on both aisle of the game. So what I'm saying is that, my friends, you know who to vote for next year. If something doesn't happen this year, you really know who to vote for. If you have friends, family, members, colleagues, etc., people who are supporting you in this immigration journey, it's time to start telling them that we didn't see clear with those Democrats. So if something doesn't pass this year, my friend, next year it's time to start moving on. Okay? I will be following the story as the story develops. I'll come back just to give the story, my point of view, what I think. Trust me, I want this immigration bill to pass because it's a win-win. If the immigration bill passes and signed by the president and it becomes law, guess what? More clients, more papers. People get freedom, they get their document, they can travel, and they're happy, and I'm happy. So that's how it works. So that's why I'm just following the story, and that's why I keep saying that if those people don't do nothing this year, we need to start moving in a different direction when it comes to voting. That's it. So let's get into the asylum application. Frivolous asylum claim. Don't do it. Temptation may rise, and you might think that it's gainful. It is not. It is not worth it. The same as fraud. It is not. If they find out that it is frivolous, what's gonna happen to the person making that type of claim? The person will become permanently ineligible for any benefit except for withholding of removal. Remember, withholding of removal, you don't get to adjust status to get the green card and get other benefits. Basically, the person will be stuck with a work permit, and in most cases they might not even get a travel document. What is the benefit of then making a frivolous asylum claim? There is no benefit at all. And when it comes to a waiver, then this discretionary measure are weighted more because of the nature of the claim. Really, it's not worth it. Don't do it. So now, how do we know that a person has made a frivolous claim? The way the Board of Immigration Appeal has come up with a standard when it comes to determining whether a person has made a frivolous asylum case. The way they do it is, first, the judge must assess whether the person was aware of the consequences of making the frivolous asylum claim. Were you aware of the consequences? Basically, do you know that making that case will lead in a permanent ban? So, and the way they know that, if the person has a lawyer, so the lawyer has the responsibility to advise the client on their rights, on the nature of the law and on the nature of the claim. They have to tell them that if you make a frivolous asylum case, there are consequences to it. That's why I always tell my client the story must be verifiable. It has to have some credibility, because if you're talking about fear of persecution and they cannot trace the story, then pretty much the story becomes a lie. And when it becomes a lie, and if the judge determine or the officer, the immigration officer, determine that this is a frivolous case, that's this is it, finito, as I said it before. So that's number one. Number two, what they look at is whether a material element of the claim was purposely fabricated. Okay, what does it mean? It simply means, like, let's say, for example, you were talking about fear of persecution based on political involvement of your family members. Let's say that you said that your father or your uncle was holding office, and because of that, your life was in danger, and your basically your uncle got assassinated, and he died, and now they're following up and start threatening the family's member because they just want to get rid of the entire family. So that material, the fact that you said he died, right? And if they go ahead and verify and they find out that the person that you're talking about, the death, the person is still alive, so basically the key element of the claim has been fabricated, and that is so material, and then they will deem the case frivolous. And then the last thing is they'll give you a chance to explain discrepancies in your asylum claim. And once those three elements have been met, my friend, if they declare that the claim has been frivolous, that's it. This is it. You will be banned for adjusting status permanently, except for withholding of removal. But remember, withholding of removal, the person will not have a lot of benefits, really a limited rights. So it is not worth it. Don't do it. Of course, there some people say, well, I will apply for a waiver, but remember, waivers are discretionary, and in most instances, when it comes to frivolous asylum claim, those waivers do not work. This is it. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, asylum. And because a lot of people are, based on where we come from, they find themselves in a situation where they have to apply for asylum. But remember that when you have an asylum case, really it has to be substance. Really, they must have evidence really in relation to what you're telling. Substantive information, basically verifiable, and information has to have credibility. This is it for today. It is Saturday. It is nice outside, a little bit cold, but it is Saturday, and we're here with immigration news. Bijoux Ngwanda here, immigration lawyer in the DC metropolitan area. This was US Immigration. Until next time, bye bye.